So one of the top questions I'm asked why should we bother with malware protection? For example, we've covered this in our recent Spybot videos. Take a look at them on how you can protect yourself from malware. People see it as a threat that doesn't really affect them. So I just wanted to show the live cyber threat map that by Checkpoint today. Checkpoint do produce commercial cybersecurity software, but as we can see here, malware is not something that is not happening at all seconds of the day across the world, and that's why it's really important to protect yourself. Every red line here is an individual malware attack. As we can see, there are so many different attacks happening. The red ones are malware, the purple ones are phishing, so where you sent an email and tricked into clicking on a link, for example, trying to get your personal details, and exploits of software are in yellow. But as you can see, by far and away the biggest threat that is happening all the time is malware, by all the red lines going across the screen. It's happening in the same country, between different countries, across the Atlantic, across land borders, literally everywhere. And today we've had over 22.7 million attacks just today. This is just one day. And if we click in and look more closely at the UK, as you can see, there are many different types of attacks happening here. Banking trojans, so they're trying to steal your bank details, trying to get into your bank. Botnets, where they take over your computer to try to coordinate an attack against somebody else. Crypto miners, where they use your computer to mine Bitcoin for themselves. Mobile attacks, so mobile viruses, and ransomware. And as you can see at the moment, ransomware is spiking. Now, we do have another great video on how malware works, where you can literally see how malware infects your computer and see it from the point of view of both the victim and the attacker. And unsurprisingly, the three of the ones that we covered in there are also some of the top attacks that happen in the UK. So a Trojan, we covered how Trojans work and how they get on your system. We covered crypto miners. They were called Bitcoin miners there, but they are exactly the same things. And we also covered ransomware and the effects it has on your computer. Ransomware, as you can see, is spiking at the moment in the UK, so even more important than normal to be aware of how ransomware works and how it can literally take all, well, it doesn't take all your files, but locks them all so they're unusable. So make sure you're backing up your system as well. We're just about to hit 22.8 million attacks in one day. That's like more than 1 million attacks an hour. So this is the reason why you do need to have your firewalls configured on your computer, and you do need to have anti-malware installed that either automatically runs or that you run yourself. The top targeted countries today are Mongolia, Georgia, Nepal, Angola and Indonesia. And the top targeted industries, these are the industries that are most attacked in the last day, but I would say these are probably the top three all time: education, government and healthcare. Now, education notoriously has weak security because obviously the primary purpose of education is to educate people, is to teach people. They don't have teams of cybersecurity experts. They usually have very small technical IT teams, and they're trying to deal with a mammoth task of protecting what can be a large network over multiple buildings, so they are a favoured target. The government as well, with all the money and personal details that the government handle of literally everyone in the country, it's a high value target. So even though the government tends to do a lot better on security, there is high value, not only for individuals and criminal groups, but it could be also foreign governments. So they are frequently up there. And healthcare as well. Healthcare in a similar boat to education. They're there to heal people, they're there to treat people. So cybersecurity often comes a second to that. And again, they normally have very small, less qualified technical teams. You'll notice tech as an industry isn't up here because tech is obviously acutely aware of these threats that are posed and usually invest much more money, although not often as much as they should do, as we can tell from some of the recent data breaches. But those top three, it says for the last day, I would say they are the top three of all time as well. Top malware types: adware, Adware is probably one of the lesser dangerous types of malware, but it is annoying. It throws up ads on your computer. It slows down your computer immensely, so you want rid of it. Backdoors can simply be bugs in applications which people haven't patched yet, or it can be where software is reverse engineered and has code inserted in it, for example. So when you click on the help, rather than directing you to the vendor's website, it directs you to a scam website. And phishing, where you send what looks like a legitimate email from an organization, but it is actually from a scammer. Now, we have to be aware of all these different types. Okay, exploits, we can help by keeping our software updated. I know everyone says it, but that is the main way you can protect from exploits, and only download software from reputable sources. Phishing, make sure you've got filters on in your email, and do not download any attachments from senders that you aren't aware of. And don't reply to emails asking for personal details before double checking the sender. If you have to, ring them up. And malware, make sure you have an anti-malware solution like Spybot that we went through that is protecting you all the time, because you can literally get malware from anywhere. We can see here a load of attacks. Conficker, Andromeda. You're probably aware of some of these names because you've probably seen them in the news, but these are happening right now. It is so important that you get yourself protected here. Okay, just in this time of this short video that we've been talking, we've nearly gone up 250,000 attacks. We're about to breach 23 million attacks this day. That is more than 1 million attacks an hour. It is vital. This is happening now. These are all people's computers that are sending and receiving attacks. Some of these might be unwittingly doing it if they're part of a botnet where the computer's been taken over. Literally, the next line to fly across this screen could be to your computer. So make sure you get your anti-malware up to date and get it installed. Take a look at the Spybot tutorials we've done. You can be up and running in literally minutes, okay? Make sure that you know how malware works. If you know how it works, then you know how you can not get it and how you can respond if you are unfortunate enough to get it. Tip, don't pay any ransoms for ransomware. It does not work. Okay, it just funds criminality. But watch our video. We spend half an hour going through what ransomware is, what it looks like, how it affects the system, and you can do that completely safely. We guide you through the entire process, and we can also give you a link to a quiz on malware so you know that you're up to date, because the combination of the software and some good practice that is easy to pick up once you know how, you'll protect yourself from becoming one of these lines on this graph today. Okay, so make sure you do check it out so that you don't become a victim of malware. Okay, hopefully that answers the question on why you should be bothered about malware. We've gone up nearly another 250,000 just in my summing up. 500,000 just in the course of this video. 500,000 attacks on computers. Make sure the first thing that you do now is go and watch our tutorial on how to install Spybot, okay? Take care, be safe online, and don't forget, forewarned is forearmed.